At least 4 confirmed dead, over 70 hospitalized in Ibadan explosion. Fire guts Abuja shopping center. Residents decry surging inflation as commodity prices spike. On the foreign scene, 167 civilians killed in Gaza bombing attacks. Hello there, good afternoon and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. We start in Ibadan, where 4 people have been confirmed dead and over 70 are hospitalized as many buildings were destroyed following an explosion in parts of Bodija in Ibadan, in Oyo State, on Tuesday night. Now, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, while visiting the scene of the incident, assured of the safety of the area and the government footing the bill of affected victims of the explosion.
What I felt in my building was actually very catastrophic. So for like 30 minutes, I was scared to come out. My entire building was actually shaking. So I thought it's something that actually happened, maybe in front of my building or on top of the roof safe. So I couldn't come out. I was too scared to come out. So I can't really say much until I got there and I saw that if I could count correctly, about 6 buildings, because I come here often, has been affected, and I don't know, and I feel like we need all the help we can get, because my instinct is telling me there are more people inside, but we need light, we need so many things to rescue these people.
Now, what's it called? The POPP, the gas, everything, the pressure destroy our office. Just look at it. So bomb is being produced secretly around this area. This is a residential area. This could not be gas. So government need to investigate this situation.
People started calling, so I ran home and I came to see this chaos. So there was an explosion that shook everywhere. I think the tremors even went as far as people heard it in Jericho.
That you have illegal miners toying with explosives around this place. We've always said to people that when you see something, say something, and then the authorities should be able to do something. This is quite unfortunate. At this stage, it's just to rescue anyone that is still under the rubble here, and also the people that have been taken to the hospital to give them care, and also some of the people who have their houses destroyed, provide temporary accommodation for them at hotels within the city. And then in the morning, we definitely will continue the investigation. But most importantly, at this stage, whatever information we can get, we need it. And then we'll react appropriately.
Well, let's get some more insight on this development from Ibadan. Joining us now is journalist David Bello, who's joining us via Zoom in Ibadan. Bello, thank you very much for making the time. It's been a very busy night and an even busier morning. The picture is becoming clearer now. What can you tell us about what the authorities are saying regarding the casualty level? And what can you tell us about the scale of this devastation?
All right, I am reporting live from Ibadan, Oyo State. Currently, I am in Bodija, and I can see at the back is the scene of the explosion. And from all measures, it's quite a devastating explosion. And like the report you played earlier, you observed that the measure of casualty reported by some of the eyewitnesses was even minimal. But as of today, I can confidently tell you that the number of houses destroyed due to this explosion is over 25 to 30 houses already on this street. The explosion is quite very, very powerful. Now, what we have today is that the death on site to inform everybody, particularly sympathizers. We have got quite a number of sympathizers here early on, and they were affecting rescue mission. So the appeal to them then was that they would have to reduce their presence and asked to leave the scene of this explosion. This being that there was a primary explosion there, and it is possible that the secondary explosion can happen. It is also uncovered a number of explosive gets to detonate. So the place is a local area, it's been cordoned off while our technical officers, our rescue team, and some of our disputed doing what can with the presence of excavators and moving machines to ensure that our restoration is carried out successfully. Now, this morning, we also observed that a body was recovered, a body terribly and maimed, but the body was contained in a work bag and was taken through the ambulance out of the site. We also had the rescue operative also had a victim alive, and the victim has been taken to the hospital currently. So rescue efforts are still currently ongoing.
Right. And what can you tell us about some of the relatives, some of the family members of those who are still perhaps trapped? Do we have people raising concerns about their missing family members or relatives in the rubble as the rescue operations continue?
All right. We visited the University Teaching Hospital, UCH, Ibadan, earlier this morning, and even as of yesterday night. The governor reported about 77 bodies and persons rescued to the hospital. Now, what we have at the hospital are people trooping in their large number. So currently as it stands, we still have our people still declared missing in the course of this explosion and as events keeps unfolding. Right. So, and we have seen a couple of loved ones came in this morning and were seriously bitter, crying and lamenting because there's some of their loved ones that were rescued yesterday to the hospital were reportedly dead this morning, about 2 to 3 of them. So we have got a man this morning that was weeping bitterly. That's one of the children of Lekon Salami. Lekon Salami is a very popular Ibadan figure. As a matter of fact, a stadium in Ibadan, Lekon Salami Stadium, was named after their father. So one of their houses was terribly affected, and one of the sons lamented this morning. It was a very sorrowful experience for him when he recounted some of the losses. He exclaimed repeatedly that everything is gone, everything is gone, everything is gone. And for most of the sympathizers around, they were almost moved to tears.
All right. David, we're going to have to leave it here for now. Fantastic reporting. Thank you very much for the update. And we do hope we can circle back to you during the course of this operation to learn more about what the authorities are able to discover in the aftermath of this explosion. Thank you very much, David Bello, for that update. Well,
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
We're still going to stay with developments in Ibadan. Join us now is Trust TV's Adeniki Kafi to give us some more insight into some of these developments. Kafi, what more have we learned so far about the casualty level? Do we have any updates in that regard? Okay, we're trying to work on that connection. Adeniki, the question is, what can you tell us about an update on the casualty level or the people that have suffered as a result of this explosion?
Actually, when I got there this morning, I witnessed the evacuation of one of the dead victims. And one was fatally.
Okay. Adeniki, I don't know if you can hear me, but I don't know if you can hear me, but I need you to speak up a little bit because we can barely hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. Officially, there were 77 injured victims.
Right, go ahead. 77 injured
Okay.
persons. Yeah.
Yes, 3 fatalities.
And 3 fatalities. 3.
Yes,
Right.
yes, please. That's the official record. But when we interviewed the residents of the estates, many of them claim that their loved ones are still under the babies. So we don't know what the actual number of victims is still going to be. The
Right.
search and rescue operation is still going on.
And what has the government said so far about what it is doing to get ahead of this situation? I mean, the places, the site of the incident has been cordoned off, but what about some sort of relief and support for those that have been evacuated from the site? What have we learned so far about any effort to provide them with alternative shelter? Is there anything that has been put in place for that?
About shelter, I cannot say for now. But the governor has promised that the medical bills of the affected victims will be catered for. That's all I can say for now. When we spoke to some of the people there this morning, some of them said their relatives are now squatting with their friends and relatives who live outside the estate. So that's all we can say for now.
Right. Okay, Adeniki, thank you very much for the update. Appreciate your insight for joining us at this hour. Okay, let's bring it back to developments here in the federal capital as a fire outbreak has engulfed IC World Emporia Center, which is a popular shopping center in Gwarimpa in Abuja in the early hours of Wednesday. A social media post on X showed fire burning through the roof of the building. We'll bring you more details as soon as we learn them in the coming hours regarding this incident. All right, Nigeria faces an escalating cost of living crisis, intensifying the strain on everyday consumers. The recent Consumer Price Index report from the National Bureau of Statistics exposes a surge in headline inflation in Nigeria, reaching 28.9% in December last year. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail examines the impact of the soaring inflation on consumers in Abuja.
In December 2023, food inflation rate increased by 10.18% higher compared to the 23.75% rate recorded in December 2022, pushing the figures up to 33.93 in December 2023 on a year-on-year basis, the NBS pointed. Beyond what the figures are saying, Nigerians are feeling the impact as exorbitant food prices push low-income earners to the brink. 45-year-old Abubakar Ibrahim hawks rope in Karu Market, Abuja. He said food inflation has crippled his purchasing power as he struggles to feed his large family of 2 wives and 12 children. I used to buy a bag of sorghum, but now I can afford only what lasts for 6 or 7 days due to the inflation. Traders here say a 50 kg bag of rice, which sold 45,000 naira in the last 2 weeks, now sells 51,000 naira. This explains why consumers like Maria downsize their daily expenditure.
I do have 3 square meal plan 10, but now it is now 2 square meal, and I do buy 5 mudu of rice. Now it's 3 mudu of rice. That's what I can afford. That's what my salary can afford. Then quarter pack of spaghetti. Normally I buy 1 pack, half pack. Now it's now quarter pack. I would like him to look into minimum wage.
So we won't make everything come down for this government. Do Allah, I beg. I want make this government look what in this poor man on this country they inside. Make them look poor man, because this poor man I ain't call accuse both the governments.
While consumers complained of food inflation, Business operators, on the other hand, are badly affected by the current trend as low patronage slows down their businesses.
Gaskiya cinakin ya karanta sosai. Don duk wanda ka iya zuwa ya sayi buhu.
The customer turnout has reduced drastically. A consumer who used to buy one bag of rice can afford 30, 20 or 10 measures today because they cut budgets. Since 2016, Nigeria has been recording a slowdown in economic growth. The current situation means the largest economy on the African continent is dealing with a poverty crisis affecting millions of people. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, the meeting between the Standing Committee of the State Wing of the Nigerian Union of Teachers and the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike over the ongoing strike action by primary school teachers in the federal capital over non-payment of their backlog of arrears and 25 months minimum wage arrears ended in a deadlock. The meeting, which was convened at the instance of the FCT Minister, took place at the conference room of the FCTA, which had the 6 area council chairmen, mandate secretaries for area councils and education in attendance. The General Secretary of the FCT NUT, Comrade Margaret Jethro, confirmed the union's meeting with the minister over the teachers' ongoing strike action that is yet to be concluded. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up ahead. Katsina residents resort to ancient traditional means of transportation to cope with rising energy costs. More on this and many other stories up ahead after the break. Welcome back to the news. Thank you very much for staying with us. Let's take another look at the top stories. At least 3 persons have been confirmed dead and over 70 hospitalized in Ibadan explosion. And fire guards Abuja shopping center. Now, most ex-convicts experience post-release humiliation, stigmatization and harassment, leaving many of them unable to have hope for the future. Well, for Zakaria, who served a 6-year term at the Biliri Correctional Center, he's defying the odds, leading an exemplary life after his prison term. Hassan Lawankoli tells us more about his story.
A 27-year-old Zakaria has become a mirror of success, applying skills acquired at Biliri Correctional Center in Gombe State. He now owns a shop crafting shoes and handbags. I developed an interest in this while serving my 6-year term in Biliri Correctional Center. One Christopher Peter always encouraged us to learn a skill, saying it was for free and will help us in the future. You see, I am now enjoying it and earning a living from it. Public humiliation is a common plight for many ex-convicts, and Zakaria pays it too. When I was released, people were mocking me and calling me names. But when they realized I was a responsible person, they started lobbying me to teach their children the skills I have. Concern about former prison mate resorting to crime, Zakaria emphasizes the need for support and empowerment, citing a lack of government assistance. One of my prison mates was in drug abuse after being released, but when he got support from Christopher, he is now doing well. You see, we need empowerment so that we can remain responsible people. But for now, we are getting nothing from the government as a support. Zakaria aspires to further his education to make a greater impact on others' lives one day. His story embodies the saying, when there is a will, there is a way. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Now, amidst rising economic costs occasioned by the removal of fuel subsidy, some residents in Katsina are resorting to ancient traditional ways of transporting goods and services. Now, the residents, who are mostly low-income earners, are making the swift decision to cut costs and reduce the burdens as well as the pressures of the current economic climate. Abdullahi Yamadi tells us more about this new measure.
Many Katsina residents have been forced to choose the lowest among their preferences, as the priority now is food. This ox cart is now used in conveying bride's furniture to the matrimonial homes in Katsina City, abandoning trucks or vans, which are even faster. Since the fuel subsidy removal by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu some month ago, business is no longer as usual to many Katsina residents, hence the decision to devise these ways. Though people are not happy with the new development, but there is nothing they could do, as it is the last resort for them to avoid the risk of falling into a deep economic ditch. Many low-income earners in Katsina look up to us to transport their goods and services because they cannot afford to employ the services of vehicles or fueling their vehicles. At the moment, these people use donkeys to supply sand for building houses and other structures instead of hiring tippers that charge high amounts of money since the fuel subsidy removal. This is a happy moment for these people, as they make huge amount of money daily from the business, which before now is on the verge of going extinct, all to complement their means of livelihood. Before the removal of fuel subsidy, the business died a natural death. But now, people hire us to supply sand and other building materials for them with these donkeys, which is cheaper. I hardly get 500 naira before, as each trip cost 200 naira, which was 50 naira before. This action has further raised the cost of donkeys at the markets, observers assert, calling on President Tinubu-led federal government to initiate programs and policies that could ameliorate the difficulty facing Nigerians in making their end meet. In the same vein, many civil servants like Haliru Nuhu and this trader, Habibu Musa, who were using motorcycles to and from their places of work, have been forced to abandon motorcycles for bicycles, and they can no longer buy fuel to power them. I cannot afford 1,000 naira to buy fuel for my motorcycle on daily basis. From my house to my place of work is about 9 kilometers. But now I use this bicycle and I take advantage of it to exercise my body to keep fit. Public commentators believed that the harsh economic predicament speaks for itself and apparently appears on the faces of majority of Nigerians, meaning that the peak of poverty is here, and the earlier the government take measures to ameliorate the hardship, the better for all. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Well, let's take a look at developments on the international scene, where at least 23 Palestinians have been killed in Khan Yunis as Israeli attacks level dozens of residential homes and damaging the Nasser and Amal hospitals in the area. UN rights activists or experts say, quote, every single person in Gaza is hungry, end quote, as Israel continues to bomb, besiege and block aid to the territory. Qatar says it has brokered a deal to bring medicines and other aid into Gaza in exchange for provision of medicine to Israel captives held in the enclave. But that's it. You're up to date with the latest news stories at this hour. We'll be back a little later at 2 for more news stories. But for now, do well to follow us across our social media platforms so you don't miss out on any of our contents. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for watching.